Hello friends, welcome to the lecture number 4 of Automobile Engineering Unit Introduction. In that, we are going to learn why a vehicle needs the transmission system. The concept of transmission system is explained in these points: power requirements and type of performance curves. Transmission system is a device which multiply the engine torque, and it may be operated manually or automatic. When vehicle moves, there is opposing forces on a vehicle known as a resistance. The engine has to produce tractive effort to overcome this resistance in order to advance the vehicle. So all these types of resistances we are going to learn here. The first resistance is called the wind resistance. Here this wind resistance is shown here, okay, from C to D. The resistance is plotted on the y-axis and speed of the vehicle is plotted on the x-axis. So wind resistance depend on the size and shape of the body of vehicle and speed of the vehicle through the wind. But the effect of the shape and size of the vehicle on its wind resistance is not considered, because for particular vehicle shape and size are a constant quantity. Because particular vehicle shape and size is the constant quantity, so in practice wind resistance is taken to be proportional to the square of the vehicle speed. When speed of a vehicle is slow, in that case wind resistance is small or can be neglected. But when vehicle speed is high, in that case wind resistance is important to be calculate for the calculation purpose. So this purple color arrow shows the wind resistance is resisting the motion of the vehicle. If speed is more, wind resistance is more. If speed is less, wind resistance is less. Next one is the gradient resistance. It's come from B to C, gradient resistance. Second, resisting force. When vehicle moves on horizontal road surface, its weight is balanced by vertical normal reaction. You can see here, weight of the vehicle is balanced by these two normal reaction. But when same vehicle moves on inclined road at an angle, you can see here at an angle, I am drawing here the vehicle, the first weight. So this weight resolve into two components. This weight produces two components. One is normal to reaction here, and another which is the force which pulling this vehicle downside. The component parallel to the road surface and pulling the vehicle down, the first component, and second component perpendicular to the road surface, which is balanced by normal reaction. So to move the vehicle, on inclined road, additional tractive effort is required due to first component stated above. Because of this component, this additional tractive effort required due to inclination of road, and this is called the gradient resistance. It is constant to at all the speed, but gradient resistance depend on the inclination of the road surface. If inclination is more, in that case gradient resistance is more. If inclination is less, in that case gradient resistance is also less. So next point is the rolling resistance. It's come from A to B. The rolling resistance is due to the deformation of road and tire. totally depends on the nature of the road surface and nature of the tire and weight of the vehicle included with a load. Weight of the vehicle means passenger weight as well as the luggage weight. Plus it totally depends on the tire and surface contact, and it is greater on soft and muddy and sandy road. It is greater on soft, muddy and sandy road with respect to or compared to the hard and dry surface. You best example, if in case of the radial tire, if the resistance, rolling resistance is more because it is a flat tire, or you can consider when at the time of puncture or flat tire, the vehicle need a more effort to pull from one place to another place. So if contact surface area of the tire is less, in that case the effort required is less. So friend, we'll go to the next slide, but before that, one thing I would like to inform you here, there is another point, it's called the total resistance. Total resistance means the combination of the rolling resistance plus gradient resistance plus wind resistance is called the total resistance, and final curve of total resistance is obtained like this by clubbing all this from D to A. So next slide we are going to learn the resistances. Hello friends. When vehicle is moving along the road at uniform speed, then there are various forces opposing the motion. The sum of all opposing resistance is known as tractive resistance. To propel the vehicle, engine produces force known as a tractive effort. When tractive effort is equal to tractive resistance, speed of vehicle is maintained. When tractive effort is more than tractive resistance, vehicle accelerate, and when tractive effort is less than tractive resistance, vehicle deaccelerate. Hello friends, we have learned here the Hello friends, we have learned in previous slide total resistances. So here three graphs are shown here. In this, the first graph here showing the total resistances acting over the vehicle. This graph shows the tractive effort required for the vehicle with respect to speed. Here is also total resistances with respect to speed, and this center graph is clubbed with the total resistances plus tractive effort and with respect to speed. So we are going to learn the performance curves of the vehicles. So see friend, when vehicle is moving along the road at uniform speed, then there are various forces opposing the motion. That forces we have seen: wind resistance, gradient resistance and rolling resistance. The sum of all opposing resistance is known as total resistances or tractive resistances. But to propel the vehicle, engine produces force known as a tractive effort. When tractive effort is equal to tractive resistance, speed of the vehicle is maintained. When second case, when tractive effort is more than tractive resistance, vehicle accelerate. Case number 3, when tractive effort is less than tractive resistance, vehicle deaccelerate. Tractive effort, what is meant by tractive effort? The driving force produced parallel to the road between tire and road due to wheel torque is known as tractive effort. Means power available at the contact area of the tire with respect to road, and it's depend on the coefficient of friction between tire and road. It varies with engine speed. Tractive resistance is the total resistance encountered to the vehicle motion. When vehicle moves, the total resistance on vehicle does not remain constant but it varies with speed. So that things we are going to learn through this graph. This total resistance of a particular road with a different gradient may represent this curve A, B, C and D, and same the tractive effort curve is the first, second and third represent the tractive effort in first, second and third gear respectively. The variation of the tractive effort with the variation of vehicle speed will depend upon the variation of engine torque with speed. If gearbox ratio is altered, we can get another curve of tractive effort. Let's see here the vehicle is traveling in the third gear. On the gradient which give the total resistance curve A, Why? Because it is intersecting here. So then OP is the stabilizing speed. The OP is the stabilizing speed for that vehicle. If speed in any case is more than OR, then excess resistance will deaccelerate it to OP. This resistance pushed back to this OP curve. Similarly, if speed at any instant is less than OQ, for example, speed is less than OQ, it's less. So in that case, tractive effort will accelerate it to speed OP. So this is called the stabilizing speed for that particular gear for this curve A. Now in third gear, consider the next higher gradient curve B. Consider this, where the stabilizing speed has decreased to OS, because here is the intersection point of the performance curve and total resistance and tractive effort. So then consider further curve C that does not cross the curve gear third. See this curve, total resistance does not cross the gear third. So in that case, it is clear that the vehicle is unable to go on this gradient by using the third gear. Then in that case, we have to shift the vehicle into second gear, and after that we can get drive on the curve C. Similarly, the vehicle is unable to run in gear second on gradient D. For that purpose, vehicle should be shifted to this point in the gear first, because intersecting or stabilizing speed is here for the gear first. The vehicle needs more acceleration at the time of starting to gain speed quickly. The maximum tractive effort is available in gear first. In the beginning, the vehicle is always moved in gear first, and after that when it gets speed, it is shifted to the second gear and so on. I think you have understood this point. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Feel free to contact me.